This bill, HB 702, is actually a pretty simple bill. It changes one word in the code. It changes the word 4 to the word 7. First thing that everyone should understand about the bill is it does not require anybody to do anything. It merely allows localities who wish to do so to raise the assessment on civil filing fees, which has been $4 since, for at least 30 years. We haven't tracked back to see how far it goes, but it goes well into the 1980s, to $7 to provide for local law libraries. Again, no one has to do this, but there are 23 law libraries in Virginia, throughout the Commonwealth. They exist in Richmond, they exist in Virginia Beach, they exist in Hampton. In fact, I know Virginia Beach tried to raise theirs a few years back. And it's important to understand who uses these law libraries. They're primarily not used by lawyers. My jurisdiction, Alexandria, has given an analysis of this, and I know that in Alexandria, 56% of the people that use law libraries are not lawyers. They're used for ordinary people who want to come in and know the law and have a way to deal with the law. Only 44% are lawyers. Of the lawyers that come there, 60% or so are sole practitioners. So law libraries are for the little guy. They're for someone who wants their justice, wants their right in court, and at the same time, can't necessarily afford a very, very expensive law firm. Now, in terms of the law library in Alexandria, it raised $53,000 from this fee back in 2014. That has dipped to $31,000 in fiscal year 2017. In fiscal year 2018, which is the last half of 2017, 6 months, they've only raised $7,000 from these fees. So the full year projection is $14,000. If we raise the fee from $4 to $7, they still won't make as much as they did last year. And a lot of these libraries are going to have to close, and then where will the little guy get access to legal resources? They'll have to either hire really big law firms or frankly get no chance in justice at all. So I really hope that this committee will seriously consider raising this number from 4 to 7. No one has to have fees increased unless localities want it and need it, and I can rest assured that my locality, Alexandria, wants it and needs it. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Dr. Page. Does any members have a question for the patron?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I know the chair is probably going to hear from people who are supporting the bill and who are opposed to the bill. I'm looking at the bill, and at the end of what is printed that's in existing law, it talks about any such library established in the county with shall be located only in a town which is the seat of the county government. It's one of those things that we see in code all over the place that you're like, there's some story behind that. And while we all dislike that probably, and we have to look for ways to clean those areas up, I'm wondering whether the patron, when he says that the city of Alexandria really wants this, has he consulted with any other county, city, or town that may have one of these that does not want this? And if that were the case, would he entertain an amendment just for the city of Alexandria? So two questions.
I would entertain that, although again, it's permissive, so anyone who doesn't want it won't do it. I know that Virginia Beach wanted to do it several years ago.
Well, Mr. Chairman, I appreciate the permissive answer. I'm recalling now a time where I submitted a bill, which I thought was a great idea, which we all do from time to time, that I thought would save local governments a lot of money. It was to give permissive authority to the local government for the court personnel, the court security, to be private. That would be the option of the locality. And I remember the Sheriff's Association coming to me and saying, the first time somebody gets through that security and shoots the judge, they're going to say, well, that was Peace's bill. And I said, well, I don't really need that bill. So my point is that sometimes when it's permissive, it's really not, because his concern from the Sheriff's Association, long story short, was that when you give permissive authority, everybody's going to opt for it. So it really isn't permissive in that sense. It is a mandate. It will ultimately be everywhere. So, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Just to answer, obviously, if your locality, if you don't want them to do it, you elect your local officials. Local officials are closest to the people, and they certainly don't have to do it. But I do know that it's fine for Virginia Beach. My one concern, I actually would be willing to limit to Alexandria to help my jurisdiction. My concern is that would be a special local bill, and then would require 2/3 on the floor, and I wouldn't want that. So maybe if we just allowed it for Alexandria and Arlington, I represent both jurisdictions, then it wouldn't be a special jurisdiction bill, and then it would only require a majority vote, and I would entertain such an amendment. I am agnostic about the town of Wythe and where their library should be. I'm really up to this committee
Mr. Chairman,
on that.
I would ask council if we could take it by temporarily. Would you be able to do an amendment that was limited to his two jurisdictions, or is there a problem with doing it?
I can go ahead and report the amendment.
Okay, that'd be great.
After government on line 37, I would add a new paragraph that would state, any such library established in the county of Alexandria may, through its governing body, assess as part of the cost incident to each civil action filed in the courts located within its boundaries a sum not in excess of $7.
May I, if I may, it's the city of Alexandria or the county of Arlington. One's a city, one's a county. If I may ask, and I haven't been here as long as many of the GUS members, all of you actually here, is it, and I could just ask the chairman of the full committee, is it your understanding, or maybe Mr. Chairman, you, that this, therefore, if I include two jurisdictions, that it would not be seen as a special bill and therefore would not require a 2/3 vote? Is that the understanding? Is that correct?
I may have to ask council on that one.
Maybe council can answer that question.
I think it would still be special legislation.
What if I did Planning District 8?
That would work.
Then I would like to say in Planning District 8, which would not affect your jurisdiction, Mr. Chairman. That's the amendment I would like to have.
All right, I'll move that amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Is there a second to the amendment?
Yeah.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Bill is amended.
I do have people in favor. You want to hear it there, Alexandria, or we're ready to go? All right.
All right, let's see, the motion to report. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, the motion has been made and seconded. The members prepared to vote. Cast your vote on your electronic voting machine. Close the roll. Now you'll lean, your bill reports out 42.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee.